The only thing I bought for myself was the car I'd wanted since I was a teenager. A silver Porsche 911. I picked it up a few weeks later. The first place I drove was my parents' house for Sunday dinner. I parked across from Jake's driveway. Dad walked outside carrying a drink. He stopped. "What is that?" "My car." He laughed. "No, seriously. I am serious." Jake walked around it slowly. "How much debt did you take on?" "None." Mom stepped outside. She stared at the car. "Did you win the lottery or something?" I smiled. "Actually, yes. Look." I opened the glove box and pulled out the birthday card. The scratched ticket was still inside. Mom recognized it immediately. "You've got to be kidding." "I won." Dad frowned. "How much?" $134 million. Nobody spoke. Jake stared at me without blinking. Mom finally whispered, "That was our ticket." I shook my head. "No, I bought it. You gave it away." Dad's expression changed instantly. "Well, family should celebrate together." That sentence told me everything. Within days, the phone calls started. Jake wanted help paying for a pool. Mom wanted a remodeled kitchen. Dad had investment ideas. Relatives I hadn't heard from in years suddenly wanted to catch up. I answered politely. Then I said no, every single time. A few weeks later, Mom invited me to dinner. Halfway through dessert, Dad cleared his throat. "Jake's house isn't really big enough anymore." Mom smiled carefully. "We thought maybe you could buy him a larger one." I set my coffee down. "You already bought him a house." "That was different." "How?" Silence filled the room. Finally, Dad muttered, "He's your brother." I nodded. "And I'm your son." Nobody answered. I thanked Mom for dinner, walked outside, got into my Porsche 911, and drove home. After that, the calls slowly stopped. Holiday invitations became less frequent. Jake quit texting. I eventually heard my parents telling relatives that money had changed me. I never argued. Instead, I quietly donated to local scholarships, paid medical bills through charities, and helped people who had never expected anything from me. Several months later, I happened to drive past my parents' neighborhood on my way home from a meeting. Jake was mowing the lawn in the same house they had given him. Dad was washing his truck. Mom was watering flowers. They all looked up as my Porsche 911 rolled past. For one quiet moment, nobody moved. Then I kept driving. They gave Jake a house. They gave me a $2 lottery ticket. It turned out the smallest gift was the only one they could never ask to have.